Hello, my name is Felix. If I told you that you could achieve financial freedom before you retire, would you believe me? Most people would immediately say no, because most of us believe there are only two ways to become wealthy. Either you need a very high-paying job, or one day you get lucky. But the truth is that financial freedom is usually built on something much simpler. And that mechanism is called compound returns. Today I'm going to explain why this concept is so important in the world of investing. So grab your coffee, sit back, and let's take a look together. Because by the end of this video, your perspective on money might completely change. Section 1: What are compound returns? Let's start with a simple question. What exactly are compound returns? Many people have heard a quote often attributed to Einstein. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, he who doesn't pays it. But what does that really mean? The logic is actually very simple. First, you invest a certain amount of money. That money grows, and continues to grow. And during this time it also generates profits for you. If you don't spend those profits and instead reinvest them, after a while both your original investment and the money you earn start producing returns together, and this process repeats every year. So your money doesn't just grow. It creates a snowball effect. Every year the growth becomes faster. That's why it's called compound. Your earnings begin generating their own earnings. Now let's explain this idea through a story that might completely change the way you look at money. Imagine two friends, Felix and Oscar. Felix starts investing when he is 22 years old. He invests only $1,000 every month. Oscar, on the other hand, wants to enjoy life first. A good job, a nice rental apartment, a nice car. Because of that, he postpones investing until he turns 32. Eventually Oscar does begin investing. But he invests more money. About $2,000 per month. At first glance you might think Oscar has the advantage. After all, he is investing twice as much as Felix. But there is one extremely important factor here. Time. First of all, time is everything. Felix's money has 10 extra years to grow. Because Felix started earlier, he will almost always stay ahead. In the investing world, time can sometimes be more powerful than money itself. As the years pass, Felix's investments begin to grow rapidly thanks to compound returns. At some point, Felix's money will surpass Oscar's investments. And that is exactly why you often hear this sentence in the investing world. The key is not timing the market, but time in the market. Now let's look at real data. Yes, we are talking about the S&P 500. Imagine you can invest $1,000 every month. That equals $12,000 per year. And imagine you invest this money in one of the most well-known stock market indexes in the world, the S&P 500. The S&P 500 represents the 500 largest companies in the United States. Companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google are included in this index. When we look at the past 20 years, from 2006 to 2025, the S&P 500 has delivered very strong performance. During this period the market experienced two major crises. The 2008 financial crisis. The 2020 pandemic crisis. But despite these events, the market continued to grow over the long term. During this time the average annual compound return was around 11%. Even after adjusting for inflation, the real return was still approximately 8 to 9%. Now let's imagine a scenario where you make only a single investment. Suppose you invested $12,000 in 2006 and never added another dollar. By the year 2025, that investment could have grown to around $95,000 to $100,000. That means your money would have grown about 8 times. And that eightfold growth came from only one investment. But the real power of compound returns is not fully visible here. Compound growth becomes truly powerful when you invest consistently. Now let's imagine that you continue investing regularly. Suppose you keep investing every year. Year 1, $10,000. Year 2, $11,000. Year 3, $12,100. Year 4, $13,310. Year 5, $14,641. This growth continues year after year. After about 20 years, your portfolio could grow well beyond $160,000. In the early years, most of the money in your portfolio is the money you invested yourself. But as the years pass, the situation begins to change. At some point, your investment earnings become larger than the money you contributed. And at that point, your money truly starts working for you. Section 6. The most powerful element of compound returns is time. The first 10 years often feel slow. But after 20 years, the growth curve begins to accelerate. Around 30 years, the growth becomes almost exponential. Your portfolio begins increasing by larger amounts every year. And this is when investors realize something very important. Financial freedom usually does not come from one lucky investment. It comes from long-term discipline. Now let's look at one of the most common mistakes people make. Many people start investing too late. Because they believe investing requires a large amount of money. But in reality, the most powerful factor in investing is not large amounts of money. It is time. Even small investments can grow dramatically over long periods. That is why someone who starts early often has a major advantage over someone who starts later. The real formula of financial freedom. Most long-term investors follow the same simple principles. Start early. Invest consistently. Reinvest your earnings. Be patient. Because the most powerful asset in investing is time itself. Conclusion. Financial freedom is usually not about winning the lottery. Most of the time, it is about time, patience, and the power of compound returns. An investment that seems small today can completely change your life years from now. If you enjoy this type of finance and investing content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. In the next video, we will explore the long-term performance of gold, Bitcoin, and other investment assets. Disclaimer: the information provided here is for informational purposes only and should not be considered investment advice. It is recommended that you conduct your own research or consult a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions. See you there.